Okay, we ready. Thank you guys for your patience. Of course, you know, I'm your girl, Amanda Miller with 105.7 Phase. Of course, we're normally on at 7 o'clock every Tuesday coming to you. But guys, you know, we've had a week-long discussion on IG, different, and Facebook, with different subjects about relationships. And so, want to make sure before we get started that we give people time to come in the room. So, want you guys, as you come in the room, to go ahead and start tagging and sharing. We're definitely going to give people time to come in the room. Go ahead and tag and share. Want to make sure you guys understand that we are on IG and Facebook on today. So, we're going to be reading comments from both. Of course, I have my little sister in the studio with me, Teresa Duhart. So Teresa and I are going to take a deep dive and talk unapologetically real, uncensored today about a lot of things centered around relationships. Guys, and we want to hear from each and every one of you. So you know how this works, how it goes. Make sure you put your comments in the chat. So we are engineered every time that we're on in the studio. Your comments, put them in the chat. We'll pause, we'll read them, we'll respond. We'll talk about some of the things that you have, of course, put out there. And again, you know we talk unapologetically real on Amanda Miller Talk. So, of course, nothing is being held back, but more importantly, we ask you to respect at any given time. You have a difference of opinion of someone else. But other than that, hey, let's do it. Teresa and I was having a discussion last week just about, you know, relationships and from a sister standpoint, and just talking about all the things that we've encountered, that we've been through, that we've heard our girlfriends go through, that we've heard guys say. So we were just having a real open, candid discussion, right? Mm-hmm. So I was like, you know what? We ought to have this on the show.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, and let's just talk unapologetically real from a standpoint of what's going on today. You know, and we've seen a lot of relationship podcasts and videos, and I've put stuff out there leading up to today to kind of just set the tone, right? Right. You know, but when you peel all the layers back and you just look at it from your experiences and what you've been through and what we've talked about, and what we know that other people has gone through, some of that stuff just don't fit for us. Right. You know, some of it you take pieces and you're like, okay, I can identify to that because I remember the video that you sent about cooking. Right. And it was ironic that you came across that, right?
Topic. Right. That's a good topic.
Right. And I'll let you set that up.
Right. Should a woman, while dating, should a woman cook for a man while dating? And some women think that they shouldn't.
Because that's the girl was saying in the video.
Right. She was saying basically she shouldn't cook while dating. If she's not the wife, she's not cooking. She said that the cat in the hat is good enough for her.
Right. That's what the lady said.
She said you can get some of this cat. If you don't want this cat, you're not. That's it.
Right. And you know.
And since I think you didn't really agree with that,
I remember we talked about it.
Yeah, and I really didn't agree with that either because, see, me personally, I like to cook. So I'm gonna cook and I'm gonna show my talent off. I'm gonna let you know.
Right.
Yeah, but some women don't like that, you know, because some women think that cooking is a wifely duty,
and that's what my thoughts were. My thoughts were just that some women feel like there are certain things called wifey duties. And guys, I want you to let me know if that's something that you think, there are anything that you think is called, so to speak, wifey duties. And we'll talk about some other things leading up to this as well. But, you know, there's a lot of things that we say as women, we try to avoid based on quote-unquote wifey duties. Well, I'm sure guys will come back and say, you know, some of that same things that they do are, even though we don't say husband duties.
Right.
they may say, hey, well, I ain't your husband, so I shouldn't be
doing this,
giving you money or paying bills or doing all of this stuff that we say we want men to do. You're right. You know?
You're right.
So what are your thoughts on that? You know, considering we're measuring the fact that she said wifey duties is consists of cooking, and then a guy could easily come back and say, well, you know, hey, you might reach out to him and say, hey, can you pay this light bill? Or hey, can you give me money for my water bill? You may feel like, well, I ain't doing that.
So one thing about us women, we test a man. We will test a man, and we will allow that man to do what he wants to do. Okay. But we also will see what he will not do. And see, that turns me personally, that turns me off.
Me too, because I texted somebody the other day.
You can't be a man about it, then honey, sorry, no.
All right. No. You know, and I feel you on that as far as we would test the person. You know, I had a person that I asked to come to my party. They didn't come, but I was like, hey, well then, you know, you should take me out and you should shoot me XYZ for not coming to my party. Or that would be my birthday gift. You should take me out. You should give me $250, and then that's gonna be my birthday gift.
Right. So you told him that.
Yeah. But do you think I got it yet? But it was just a test. Right. It was just a test to see how you was gonna show up.
Right.
And now that I know that you didn't show up the way that I asked you to, now when you come having a conversation with me about laying up with you, you can't even never have that conversation.
We can't never have that conversation.
Then we can. I mean, that's off limits for me and you now to even have that conversation. And it wasn't even about the fact that I'm putting a price tag on my sex. It's more so you didn't show up for what I asked you for, right? And if you really rocking with me like that, you would have said, well, I tell you what, I can't do that, but I can do this. You didn't even come back with a rebuttal. Did you see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You didn't say, well, hey, I tell you what, I didn't come to your party. I didn't get you a birthday gift, but let me do
this. Is what I'll do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sis, what do you call that?
So what I call it that men test us too. Like you just said, they go so far to see if we just gonna lay over. See, and I keep trying to tell folks, you gotta make sure that you have set boundaries and values for yourself.
Thank you. I just seen a post about that too. Guys. Yesterday, the man said, only way that a woman is valuable is she take a while to give up her cat. Like, don't give up your cat. Don't give up your cat right away.
We got a question.
Okay, let's talk about it.
So our question says, why are women more prone to give you some after you do something for them?
Like I right. But the biggest thing is, I can't answer that.
Well, and the reason why I can't answer, okay, go ahead. I can say this is because, first of all, women are more emotional. So if I know a man is doing these things for me, why not? So now I'm thinking, oh, he possibly can be my man.
So, and see, I think, I don't know who work in this space, who all work in this space, like Sis just stated, but ladies, speak to it. Put it in the comments. Again, let's tag and share. Let's talk about it. Y'all make sure y'all bringing people in the room so that we can have these conversations. But I would say for me, and we talking unapologetically real.
What you just said about tagging, because I got people on my live too. I want them to be in on the whole your live. So what's your live? So I can put it on my.
You on IG?
I'm on IG.
Put it on top.
Talk right now. But on IG. Mm-hmm. Okay, let me do that.
But what I was stating is for me.
Talk.com.
TALK.com. You know,
she's live right now, talk.queens. Go to talk.queens right now.
And join this conversation.
Come on.
Okay, we got another question. Okay. Next question says, what are some things...
Let's come with it. We talk unapologetic.
Let mess this question up right here.
Okay.
What are some things that are a turn off for women?
Okay, but let me answer that question about, and then we'll get to that, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So, women being prone to have sex with somebody after the fact of them doing something for them. There's plenty of women that work in that space.
Mm-hmm.
I don't work in that space, and I really don't. I'm just keeping out of it 100.
Keep it real, 100.
If I'm gonna lay up with you, I'm gonna lay up with you. If I'm gonna have sex with you, I'm gonna have sex with you. Because I'm an adult. I'm grown.
Now listen, I know people.
Right. If I'm feeling you, I'm feeling you.
Yeah.
So if I decide that there's the chemistry there, right? You know, it ain't about that.
Yeah.
You know, it's
because I could pay my own bills.
Right.
I can do things for myself. You know,
Right.
It goes both ways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if I feel sexual with you, I feel like that's what I want to do.
Then that's what it's gonna be. With no attachments. You know, because it is what it is. I think some of the things that I'm unattracted to is the fact, don't bring the conversation of sex up to me. That is such a turn off to me.
Yes.
I don't want to have a conversation with you about sex. I want it to organically happen.
I want it to automatically. I want the chemistry to be there.
Right.
I want it to automatically happen. Yeah,
Right. So that's one that's big for me, you know. But men, I mean, I want to know what's a turn off to you guys, you know, because even though we're talking from this perspective, we don't want it to be a one-sided conversation. We want it to be holistically about guys and females. But yeah, Mello, do we have anything on the top on the IG side? Possibly. I know, right? Because guys, we're on Facebook and IG, so drop your comments in either one, the Talk That Queens or Amanda Miller Talks. But I think one of the biggest things that Sis and I talked about was also about when we look at one of the things that we know that we're in agreement about. That's all right.
Okay. I was trying to I want to tag people from my page because they're on my live, but they can't see the whole thing. So I tag them to tell them to come follow you though.
Gotcha.
Probably are doing that.
Gotcha. Yeah, they can go to Talk That Queens and watch it from there. Better yet, can you share your thing? Can this be like a share? Like, can you share from where you are now?
I can go live with you, but I'm already here with you.
Gotcha. I was gonna say, can you kind of like do a share from your live to like tag Talk That Queens in your live? I wonder what that works.
Yeah. We're sorry, y'all.
Yeah, we're just trying to make sure that everybody have an opportunity from each avenue to participate and drop questions and things like that. But as I mentioned, guys, don't shy away from dropping your questions or comments. It don't even have to be question. It can be a comment. We want to talk about what we're seeing in this dating space. We want to talk about just a variety of things that we're seeing out here at this point in time with relations, with dating, with males, with females.
Right.
You know, we want to talk about it all.
We do. And the main topic in the conversation now in 2024 should be if a woman or a man, if they're dating just for sex or if they're dating to be married.
Great point, because the thing is,
and what age range?
For?
Right. What age range? Because we know like around the 30s, it may be more so marriage, around 40s, 50s. You know, a 40, 50-year-old man, they have already been through marriage. They have already been through relationships. They got their kids, the kids grown and out the way. They really skeptical about really getting into a serious relationship unless that's where they want to
go.
Right. And 9 times out of 10, they're already married. And then they're out messing around on a mistress or somebody on a side chick.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right. So I would say from 35 and up, at this point in your life, if you don't know what you want, then something is wrong. You need to do a reevaluation of self.
Yes.
And just really be serious about what it is that you're looking for. And some people, I'll give them a little grace. Some people have never had a desire to be married. They don't have a desire to be married, and that's okay. So with that, when you start in that dating space, you need to share that.
Right.
Because with that female, because nobody want to waste time dating you just to find out 2 or 3 years down the line that you don't even have a desire to even get married.
Right.
You know, so when do you even share that information?
Mm-hmm.
What I've learned, and we were talking about this, I've learned to have these tough conversations up front. And it may run a man away, but hey, I don't have time to wait.
Please have those conversations up front. Please, that interview, I'm sorry to say, you have to put a man on an interview. When y'all go on that first date, an interview. Because they will lead you in the wrong path.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wrong path, and it won't be righteousness.
Right. But I just don't, like we were saying, I don't want you to waste my time. And I don't want to waste yours.
Right.
If you don't have a desire to do or be on the same path that I'm on, journey,
that's it.
Then that's okay.
Please don't waste my time. Please let me know up front. Honey, I'll be 45.
Right.
I am not a teen bopper. I got grown kids. I'm still raising kids. I know what I want out of life. I take care of myself. You know?
Right.
Many can say that I am an alpha woman. So in that state, so alpha, I can say you're an alpha woman.
Oh, definitely.
So what do we need? Do we need an alpha man?
I got a question.
Yeah.
That's all I'm about to ask. Do alpha women like alpha men? Because sometimes I feel like alpha women don't like an alpha man because they like to be in control of things. So what type of man do you like?
Well, I want an alpha man. I want an alpha man. I can be submissive.
Okay.
So I can be a beta and an alpha. I can submit. I can submit.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I definitely,
But
I know I definitely need a beta, an alpha man, only because I know me. I know that I can be very, very strong in my personality. I've learned to say what I want. I'm going to say what I want to say.
Regardless,
but I've learned to tailor it or tailor that and say it in a way that it needs to be stated. And that goes to one of the questions that we put on the list. One of those things was one of my girlfriends say all the time that she's learned to not say anything at all to the way that her person moves. Not to question the things that he does, the things that he do, or if she's feeling a certain kind of way. She's learned to just not even expound on it. And see, that's not me. Because I feel like I'll lose myself. And I'm not going to lose myself trying to keep no man.
Right.
I'm just not going to do that.
Right.
Exactly. So I'm going to say what I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
If something doesn't sit right, whether you call it questioning or not,
Right.
I'm going to ask you about it.
Yes.
But what I've learned is to ask you in a manner where you and I can have a conversation.
Right.
I just feel like submission is not just not having a voice. And I think people get that mixed up.
They do get that mixed up. Right. Like we were talking earlier, you got some women that will just be housewives and submit, and they don't do nothing all day but do what that man wants them to do and make sure that house is in order. And they submit,
right?
And they don't have a voice,
right? I felt like I tried that, and I do believe in choosing your battles. I do believe that. I do believe that everything is not a fight. Everything is not an argument. Everything is not to be addressed. I do believe that. But I also believe if it matters enough to you, then you ought to be able to speak on it.
Right.
I think it's all in your delivery and approach. And from a man's standpoint, if you get offended because your mate comes to you with something that's on her heart or on her mind that's heartburning to her, and you have a problem with that, then I think you have that's an ego thing.
It is. And see, and one thing about a man, whether they alpha or beta, whether, you know, they go on these ego trips.
Mm-hmm.
That's not necessarily fair to the woman.
Absolutely.
And they don't know how to compromise.
Exactly.
And not saying that we all, you know, women, same thing. When you have women just as fault. But when you are a woman that's an all-around woman, when you can just put down to earth.
Well, let me tell you what my girlfriend said. She say, when you're a woman that can go from bankhead to bucket.
Come on.
And so
Come on, bankhead to bucket.
That's me.
Where you at?
Right.
Bankhead to bucket. Me too.
So that's me. I am a chameleon. I can fit in any environment. Right.
Any environment, any atmosphere. I can too.
That's right. And so I want to know from the men, do you not desire a woman that can fit in that space?
Please comment. Please.
One that can.
Make sure y'all tap in.
Right.
Now to talks.queens. I'm on Instagram. Go chime in so you can see the whole video right now.
You know, I want to know from you guys, do you desire or can you even, we're going to keep it real, can you even handle a woman that can go from bankhead to bucket?
Right.
You know, because some men, like we were saying, can't even handle an alpha woman, let alone talking about us saying we need an alpha man.
Right.
Can you even handle an alpha woman? A woman that is going to speak her mind, a woman that is going to be able to adjust in any environment, you know. Go ahead.
We have something from IG. She says, I become less dominant when I have a mature alpha. I guess it's tending to my mental and my emotional state makes me the natural girl. Makes my natural girl come out naturally. So basically what she's saying is when she's with an alpha man, she can submit. Mm-hmm. As long as he tends to her mental and her emotional state.
That's right. And
that's right.
And I agree with that because here's my thing about being attentive. And so, whomever, thank you for bringing that up.
Yes.
I think men tend to forget how to be attentive to their woman.
Yes.
And you got to be able to tap in. Okay, we'll get there. We forget to tap into the needs of our woman. And I tell people all the time, I want to take the guesswork out of this for you. Yes. I don't want you to have to guess how to please me. I don't want you to guess what satisfies me. Mm-hmm. I'll give you the blueprint. Mm-hmm. I mean, I'll give you the blueprint.
I'll give it to you.
But that's why I'm single. Right. Because I give the blueprint and they can't even follow it.
Right. But the right person, you ain't going to have to give the blueprint.
But I don't want you, here's the thing. We say that though, and I'm glad you brought that up, is this. Remember, we talked about this. Even if he's the right person, if he used to dating Teresa and I may not be the same. Right. Then he come along and date me. Right. My needs and wants are totally different from yours. Mm-hmm. You know, so I always ask a man, tell me what you like. Right. Tell me what you don't like. Right. Tell me how you now in the midst. I get to learn you. But what I don't want you to do is treat me like you treated Teresa and thinking that works for me. Right. Because it may not. Because we're totally, as women, we're totally different. And from a man perspective, now, what I will say, because here's the thing, I'm very sensitive. Mm-hmm. Teresa may not be sensitive. Right. So you may not need for him to cater to the way he talked to you. Right. You may be okay for him to be a little, not disrespectful. Right. But it may not offend you if he say things in a in a kind of dominant way.
Right.
And like I say, not disrespectful.
Right.
But for me, I need you to be real subtle about it.
Right.
Right. So just keep it.
But he may not be a man like that. So if he's not a man, and see, men are stubborn. They are stubborn. They don't want to change unless, they don't want to change.
And here's what I always say to that too, though, sis. I always say, if it's a woman that you want, like you say, men don't want to change, or women either, but because we get comfortable. And I don't want people to say that either. I don't like when people say, oh, they're set in their ways. No. People change themselves for who they want to keep in their life.
Right.
If you want to keep me in your life, I shouldn't have to accept your ways of being because you were set in your ways. You should be willing, if it matters, and if we don't have a meaningful conversation, you should be able to change you in order to keep me. If you really wanted me, and vice versa.
Right.
If because I tell people all the time, because I met this guy, right? Mm-hmm. And I said to one of my girlfriends, she said, well, I don't think he likes blah, 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 blah. And I said, well, and I think you and I talked about this.
Right.
I am willing to change the way I do things. Not change who I am.
Right.
But because I do want this to be in this person's life, I am willing to tailor back.
Right.
If that doesn't suit him. I'm not willing to change who I am, but I'm willing to do things differently in order to appease him. And that's the difference. We got a question.
We have some comments.
Okay. Let's go. Thank you, guys.
Yes.
Okay, so we have, I need a woman that will voice her opinion. I have learned to love a woman's heart. That's from Sharissa from the station. We also have, I think all alpha females can submit to the right alpha male, but he must know how to lead and be the protector, provider, and the performer.
Yes.
I agree.
Yes.
All right, amen.
And I second that motion to perform more.
I have something to say. I followed Fantasia and her new husband. Well, he's not a new husband anymore, but I followed them, and they ended up doing a podcast as well about being. Now, like when they got together, she accepted him in, and he wasn't. He's not a celebrity. He wasn't. He's just a regular man that she fell in love with. They got into Christ. He became that man that she wanted. I know every relationship has problems, but he actually changed. He became the man and that alpha man.
Yes, and they actually got married after 3 months.
Right. And she moved him in, and she was helping him out.
So I will say this, and we'll go back to some of the comments. I'm glad you brought that up. One, I will not date a man for a long length of time. Now, I won't marry in 3 months.
Right.
But I have told myself that I will not date a man for a long period of time without the conversation of marriage coming up. Because if my intentions on dating you is to get married, then I don't want to waste many, many years down the line with somebody that don't have the intentions on marrying me.
Right.
Let me say this. I give you.
Say it to the people in the back.
Let me tell the people on the camera. I will give you a year of my time. Once I give you a year of my time and we are not having a discussion about being solidly exclusive, grounded, and talking about our future, then there's no need for me to waste my time on you. And the reason why I say that is simply this. Like you said, most people, whether they got married early or not, at 35 to the 50s, have either experienced marriage. And I've been in a 14-year relationship.
Right.
And so at this point in my life, I won't waste no more time Because again, it goes back to if you know what you want, and if you as a man have, and you should, and I think men struggle with this, do you really know what you want?
Do you really
in
know
a
what
woman? I think we as women, we know exactly what we want. I don't know if, okay, we'll get to that. Okay.
We don't know what we want either.
Okay, we'll get to that, but I think most times women know what they want based on what they've experienced, and we'll get to
But
that.
what we will do
Okay.
is not give that man a chance that has the qualities of what we want, because that man is not.
We're not attracted to him. I'm just gonna say it for you, see. We ain't gonna sugarcoat this thing. We as women, we like
What we
we
talking
like.
about? We want that. Listen, especially an alpha woman.
Mm-hmm.
They want that man that put that shit on.
Right.
They want that man that got that juice together. Yeah.
They want
that man that put that. We want that man that put that shit on. Got their business in order. Smell good when they step out. But guess what? Those are the men. Their ego is too funky.
They're the men that like the beta women. They want the woman that they can
listen.
Listen,
Listen, I ain't even lying. That's what's.
They don't want to African.
I was in a similar situation.
What are some of the comments?
All right, so we got a lot of comments.
Okay.
So one of the people
And then
on
Facebook,
IG,
we're gonna come back to you guys. We haven't forgot about you. Y'all deal with y'all. Be patient.
So the underscore Rekindle show. She said, cooking, cleaning, providing any financial support, love, and affection is wife duties, in my opinion. Rather it be clear across the board, we're both just having sexual fun. Only until we confirm new commitments that expands my duties and heals.
I agree. I mean, because I always tell women, you're nothing to that man until you guys have had a conversation or he has claimed you to be his woman.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I mean, it is what it is.
I had to learn my lesson about that. I did too much of that. And I still didn't get nowhere with that man. Nowhere with that man.
And women love to try to say that. No, baby, that don't matter.
I'm talking about everything he wanted me to cook, everything he wanted, I mean, help with the business. I mean, I'm talking about, I was your lover and your secretary. I'm talking about all of that.
What else is out there? Facebook, be patient.
All right, so okay, we done over here.
Okay.
We already read the other ones.
Mm-hmm.
All right, back to
Tell
Facebook.
me.
So we have. I don't think they necessarily have to change, but at least compromise and move into the direction that you're moving in to make sure you guys are on the same page. I feel like another comment is I feel like social media changes our perceptions of what a good relationship looks like. Someone said, real talk, man or woman, you should know what you want.
You just should know what you want. And when we talk about this, right,
Oh,
at
yeah, real
this
talk.
age, at this age, you definitely should know what you want. I will say that to your point, Mello, you mentioned that not all women know what they want. Then again, I say to that, like we were saying about men, at this age, if you as a woman or a man don't know what you want, that's a self-evaluation that you have to do on self. You got to do a self-check, because you should know your wants, your needs, the things that of your wants and needs. Then you know what kind of man or woman can fulfill those wants and needs for you. So if you don't even know the wants and needs of self, then you definitely don't know what partner that can give you those things that you desire. I will say this, that was one of the videos that we sent out was this. You can't get to know a person's what they want, what they need, well, better yet, how to fulfill those desires and those needs if you don't spend time with that person.
Right.
Ain't no way in the world, if you're serious about dating me and you don't even spend time with me to get to know how Amanda operate in a certain space.
Right.
If you guys are out, and let's just say the order gets wrong.
Right.
You don't really know if Amanda just gonna come out of a bag or not, because you've never even been out to take Amanda on a date.
Right.
To even know that if she's gonna respond from Bankhead or if she's gonna respond from Buckhead. Because you've never even been around her enough to even see things in motion and actions. And I think that's where women, and women, I'm talking to you right now, so I want y'all to come on in the room and have a conversation. I'm going to hold y'all accountable for some of this foolishness too now. I think women have not put pressure on men to date them. You got to date me. And I think we let them get away with that. What's your thoughts, sis?
They get away with it, but they also get a woman that cater to their needs by doing that. Because I know someone that is dating a guy and they moved in with the guy, and they don't go on dates, but they do other things like stay at home, watch movies.
Okay.
They cook for each other, but they don't.
If you
go
compensate,
on dates. And
if you compensate that in another way, then maybe so, because if that works for you guys.
I think everybody is different.
I do believe everybody is different. I can agree with that. I can agree with that, but I think
I'm not saying that I'd have to be chaste, but you got to
show me you want me.
You want me.
Right.
You gotta show me that I am the one that you're trying to.
Because I'm gonna do the same.
Be with. Now again, it goes back to what a man is trying to really do with you. They like to tell us what we want to hear.
Right.
Oh, they want to
Don't tell me what I want to hear.
Oh yeah. Well, I'm looking for a friend. Oh, we already know we look for a friend, possibly somebody to be with, but not right now.
Okay.
So, are you looking to date to get married, or are you looking for a sex partner? Come on, be 100.
Let's talk about it.
Let's be 100 about it.
Right.
Like,
because if sex is all you want, then say that. Because at the end of the day, like I mentioned, if I want that. One thing that a guy told me, he said he would never make a move on a female when it comes down to sex. He would allow her, any woman he slept with, he has allowed her to make the move on him. Simply because that means that's your desire. That's what you want.
Right.
And I get his point. Because, see, let me tell you this.
I don't know. I think I'm kind of shy on that point.
Let me tell you this is because I am not a first mover either. So why is that a role, a gender role? You see what I'm saying? Why is it a gender role? He said, and I know people say it makes it a little bit different if the man make the first move, but there's plenty of women out there that makes the first move. It may not work for you, but I would tell you this: any man that I'm into, I am gonna make the first move. If I'm not into you,
I mean, of course, it gotta be that. It gotta be that.
It got to be that guy. It got to be that guy.
You ain't going nowhere. I've been in that situation where, you ain't going nowhere.
Yeah, he got to be that guy. He got to be that guy in order for me to make a move. Other than that, it's going to have to come from the standpoint of a guy. Any comments or questions out there?
I have a question. Okay. More so as a comment. I feel like most people in relationships, when they seeking like partner, they like people that are not accessible. That's why you see like a man to go and marry like the lamest girl.
Yes.
Like, I mean, she don't wear no makeup.
You
no
know why?
eyelashes. Why? Tell me
Do
why.
you know why?
Because she's not accessible to other people.
Because he can go do what he want to do.
Well, let me tell you this.
But he's not gonna divorce her.
But to Melo's point, I got a guy that literally has been trying to date me for the longest.
Mm-hmm.
He always say, when we see each other, we have this great chemistry, right? And I think he's a very attractive guy. He put that shit on. He's a nice looking guy. He has things going for him as far as like he's an actor. So he's trying to get, and he's had some good little movies and acting and stuff like that. He's made some scripts and movies and stuff like that. But he will not. He'll text me every now and again and say good morning, beautiful, and things like that. But he don't try to date me. Like he don't try to take me out. He don't even try to. And I asked him. I said, why do you tell me all these things that you want to date me? That you, he said, because the one thing I think about you is there's a lot of men that's trying to date you.
Yep.
And I can't compete with
Yeah.
that.
Oh.
And I think that's where a lot of men
A lot of
go
men,
wrong.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
read the outside of a person without getting to know
Yeah,
them.
I don't like that, sis. I don't like when men do that. And I get a lot of that too. And it's like you don't know what you're missing out. You don't know what type of blessing you're missing out.
That's right.
What I look like is not what it perceived. Now,
The book that you can't read a book by its cover.
you
baby.
really can't.
Right.
You really can't.
Right.
I'm the nicest, sweetest person. Whatever you desire, probably I will probably, but you can't do that. A lot of men do me
I
like
think
that
a
too.
lot of men
It's
are
intimidated.
by
Intimidated.
Yes, y'all need to stop that, because if you get to know that person, you will see. Because here's again, and I'm gonna offend some women, I know. Here's what, just like Mello was just saying in regards to, they would date a plain Jane because they don't think that they're accessible to other men.
Right.
My thing is this: don't be the ones, like I said, sometimes that really just like, I ain't saying they no hoes, but don't be the ones that, because I think men that don't desire them as much, they're searching for something. They're searching for love. They're searching for that man. So every man they meet, they're trying to make them their boyfriend. I tell women all the time, stop trying to make everybody your boyfriend. I tell my daughter that.
Right.
Every guy that like you
Is not your boyfriend.
is not boyfriend. If he's not boyfriend material, he's not going to be. And some people, they have a motive.
Yeah.
Everybody who attracted to you.
I've been there too.
Yeah,
I've
someone just got a
had that
motive.
situation too. Where the man, he had a motive. But hell, I had a motive too.
And men, they talk to us, because y'all men may say that we as women have motives, and I'm not saying we don't. But what I am saying is, don't judge the plain Jane that she just holding them down, and don't judge the girl that put that shit on and that just appears to be a magnet for men. Don't judge us by that. Judge us by, like the video said, our values, our qualities. Get to know us, spend time with us, and you'll get to see that we are pretty much just as rooted and grounded in things such as our spiritual guidance, the way we handle business, great moms,
Yes. Entrepreneurs.
right,
Career driven.
right.
Want something out of life, just family oriented.
That's right. I think women that's like us find the hardest time getting the right man because of our need for something different than money. Now, I'm not saying we ain't asking you to not have your own finances. I'm saying because we are hustlers, because we are drivers, because we know how to go get it, we ain't looking for a bag.
Right.
We're looking for someone
we
that
can grow with.
Absolutely.
We're looking for somebody we can glow with. That's GLOW and GROW.
Right.
And men don't understand that. I don't know why. So that takes me back to the celebrity women. The Love and Hip Hops, the women, the women that's out there. They got the nice shapes. They pretty like us, and they have men. They have their husbands. I look at the Rashidas with the Kirks and
Ari and
right.
my bag, yeah.
Right.
Aria, Moneybag Yo, right?
Right.
Baby, Lil Baby, and Jada.
Yeah.
You know, so I was telling somebody this. And I want to take, let me tap into this, and then we're going to go back. I was telling somebody this, right? They mentioned that men don't like those people like I just mentioned, meaning the Rashidas, meaning the Aries, the Jadas, that men don't, and such as like a Amanda, like people that are in the limelight, that are popular, that guys are that are attractive, that guys are always after. Men don't like that are always out, that are, but these girls are out like me because they're trying to create a brand, right?
Right.
And if you ain't seen, you're forgettable.
Right.
And so we out there and we're trying to make sure that we flourish and that we stay relevant, right? It has nothing to do with our lifestyle, and it has everything to do with being business, right? But these ladies had seemed to secure a man that's in their lane. And I wanted to make a point to say, I don't like when women say, well, men don't like XYZ. Well, yes, they do. You just got to date in your lane.
Right.
You gotta date right. I mean, stop it. You just got to date in your lane. And if Amanda is not for you, then Amanda is not in your lane. And so you need to date a girl who's in your lane. And I'm okay with that. Because I tell people all the time, Amanda is not for everybody. And so with as beautiful as I think I am, as kind as I think I am, as much as I think I got my shit together, I'm not for everybody. And that's simple. And I'm okay with that.
Right. That's of course that's every woman. Every woman is not, everybody is not for everybody.
That's right.
But
to your point about the Aries and the Rashidas and the Kurtz and things like that.
Yeah, they like you said, somebody had to come. Usually it's the men that have came in on those women who's already celebrities, and they have said, you know, hey, I think I want to be a part of your life. They have to come in and be a part of what that successful woman has going on. Right. Even though they may be successful too, but they add on.
They add to.
They add
value.
On.
That's right.
They add the value on.
Right. And the same way with us. If we were to date a person that has their own stuff already established as a man, we need to be able to add value as a woman to what that man already got going on. Remember the video that I shared with you that the man said, as men, you gotta have boundaries too. Stop sharing your plate with a woman that ain't even on her way to something.
Right.
You know, and men do that. Right. That, you know, a woman that ain't even established, that ain't even showed you that she know how to run a business that successfully. A woman that has not even shown you that if you were to be out of commission, is the business gonna sink?
Right.
Because she hasn't even shown you that she has the potential or the skills to be able to run that business if something was to happen to you.
Right.
Then what? Are you basing it off just because she has a pretty face? What are you basing that off of? And men, I'm asking you, what are you basing it off of? You know, because
being online tonight.
We had women, I mean, you said that he just was looking, maybe like what he seen. And
what's going on with our Facebook folks?
Facebook, we got last two comments was no wifey duties until the conversation is had. Say then by the, I guess it's supposed to be stay then by the ones for everybody. I don't know.
Okay, one word.
But I was gonna say, when you said men like women based on how they look, that goes back to what I was saying about the way social media has painted this perception of women. Like men, and even like just dating in general, you expect people to be flawless. And then when you see them in that natural state, it's like, oh, this ain't what I signed up for. You know? So I think that that plays a role too with dating. And especially with, like you said, the man, he goes out and he got this woman and she pretty, but she don't have nothing to bring to the table. Because that's what a lot of them are. They trying to go to where the table is already set.
That's right.
That's
right.
Just walk up and pull up a seat or walk up and eat. And that's just how, like I said, with social media. Because now, like, you got to think about it. Boosie said this a long time ago. Everybody bad bitches now.
Now, I want to say that I don't know what that actually means, but because diabetes come beyond just looks,
Right.
But that's
Right.
It's a
mental.
no, that's all they're doing. They're just looking. That's it.
Right. And so I say that to say this, from a standpoint of when we say everybody are bad bitches, men, is that what what are you really looking for? Do you desire a woman that, and I ain't even gonna ask that question because I think we all work out visually.
Right, we do.
I think we all work off visual. I think we all have what we like.
And we work off potential. I think we work off potential as well.
And I've learned to stop working off potential.
I'm learning to stop working off potential.
I used to work in that space, and I'm not saying nothing is wrong with it, because there are some men that I know that has the ability to definitely be great in their space. And I think, I give you a prime example of like you and I was talking about, and Mel, I want you to chime in. I think it's dynamic, demographics. I mentioned that to you, right? I was telling sis that I believe that men are used to what they're used to within their city, state, county, wherever you are. You're used to those type of women.
Right.
And so if you're living in a little small town where these women only know you guys and y'all only know them, right? But then you happen to come across a girl that's a city girl. We just grown and built different. Right, too much for you. And I've ran into that because you're used to dating girls in your city.
Like your mama.
Right.
Right.
That's right. And like I was telling you, the only thing you know is that she's looking to be a wife. So she's very, very submissive. She's willing to do each and everything for you simply because that's how they were reared and raised. That's all they know is their surroundings.
Right.
They don't, and I'm not saying all, but they don't have the go-getter mentality of a city girl. They ain't gonna put that shit on. I'm sorry, they just not like we do. So it goes back to what I was saying, dating your lane. Date the girls that you're used to. And if you're gonna not date the girls that you're used to, and men, that goes both ways, then what you gotta do is be willing to come out of your comfort zone.
Right.
You gotta be willing to come out of your comfort zone in order to date and get different results. If you're used to doing one thing and then you step outside of it and do something different, then you gotta pivot and shift to adjust to whatever that is that you want.
I'm just thinking about, like, I was dating this guy and he put that shit on and he got his career going on. He really doing his thing. But there was a different level.
Okay.
Like, I wasn't at his standard, his level, but I still take care of my business. I'm still that alpha woman, and I'm still the alpha woman on my level, you know. But he told me, he said, that's one thing about you, you don't listen. And I'm like, listen. Now, in some aspect, he probably was right about that.
No problem.
Yeah, he was right about that. But you have to show me, as that alpha man, you have to show me that you can dumb me down a little bit. Like you can, you know. But if you don't show me that, then I'm not. And he had his shit together. And he might be $1 million man. You know, I don't. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying he up there. But I'm not, because you're looking for a particular type of female.
Females who need a man that are needy to a man's money to validate them.
Yeah.
Then those are the kind of women that's what we call needy. I don't call needy being because I want your time. I don't call needy because I want you to hear from you. I don't call needy because if I like you and you like me, I should be hearing from you anyways. I don't call needy being because I want to date you and I want you to date me. I call it standards and I call it value.
Value.
But I do call it needy when a woman is willing to jump through hoops for a man that ain't even got a ring on your finger with the potential of marrying because you want to be that pick-me girl. In the long run, I'm the one that I'm going to do all these things for you. You don't have no ring on my finger. I'm going to not argue with you. I'm going to let you see me when you want to see me. I'm going to let you not date me. I'm going to let you have sex with me whenever you desire to have sex with me. And that may be once every blue moon. But that's because I want you to pick me. So I'm going to do all the things that works for you. Well, I'm not a pick-me girl. And I think most city girls aren't pick-me girls. And that's why I kept saying demographics. Wait a minute. I'm not saying city girls don't have pick-me girls. I'm saying most times city girls aren't pick-me girls only because the way we move and way we navigate around the city. We are hard working, driven women that has created so many foundations for ourselves that we level up to that men are trying to pick us. That's when it becomes us not being pick-me. Now, I'm not saying city girls don't have pick-me girls because we do. I just don't work in that space with pick-me girls. My girlfriend's just not pick-me girls.
Yeah, not a lot of us from the city is pick-me girls.
Because
we don't tolerate all that extra. We don't tolerate disrespect. We don't tolerate certain things. Now, as you get older, your standards in being in a relationship changes because you have did that at a young age. Like, you know, you have did that already at a young age. So basically, it's like you're gonna dumb down a little bit. You are, or you're gonna be single.
Right. But
we're not gonna tolerate disrespect, and we want what we want.
That's crazy. I said that the other day, and that's just who I am. I want what I want when I want. Right.
And you got some women, because now listen, you got the hood. Now, what we said, we go from what? Bankhead to buckhead. You got your hood girls don't take none of that mess. Like they gonna cuss your butt out. They fighting you. They doing all that.
Right, absolutely.
Now I done been there, done that.
Right.
That's when I was younger.
Right.
That's when I was younger.
That's right.
You know.
That's right.
But you got some that's around our age still doing it.
Yeah, and see, we're not doing that.
Listen.
That's why I tell people all the time. Tell me what you want.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Yeah.
Those men
love them. Love that dirty draw.
They love it.
Love that dirty draw.
I ain't lying. I got a friend right now. That girl, is she from the hood? She hood. She called me with all kind of. Can we go?
Unapologetic.
She called them niggas all kind of fuck niggas. You bitch ass niggas.
See,
I told you to do this and you fuck me. I know you was over that bitch house. Now come over here and eat my pussy.
Oh my! Now see, I might not get
come
that.
Come on.
But I keep.
And that's what they do. They right there at the door. They like that shit.
Yeah.
They love that. But I'm not like that.
I think that we should, when we talk about relationships, you have to remember your very first relationship, and that's with your parents. People don't get that. Most girls who have their fathers in their life, they looking at that type of relationship. But then also the ones who don't have, they looking at how their mothers are dealing with different men.
Yes.
And
remember we talked about that.
And that plays a part when you get older. You start like you got the women like don't take no shit, bitch, nigga, fuck, nigga, hoe, nigga, all that, because they watch their mama talk to men like they treat me like that. But if they were around a man like, and I talk about my dad all the time because my dad is that he that nigga.
Right.
Like he is the man.
Right.
I look at how my dad treated my stepmother. And even my dad was married to my mom, but I didn't know none of that. I was a baby. But my dad has taken care and provided for my stepmother for 33 years, 34 years. She's never worked a job. She's always done everything. And I mean, of course, they butt heads.
So was she submissive?
She's very submissive. She's the housewife. But my stepmother drives a 2024 Cadillac Escalade custom. Like, my daddy takes care of her the way she takes care of him.
Right.
And my dad saw that with my grandmother and my granddaddy. My granddaddy, he took care of my grandmother. They wanted for nothing. So that was his idea of a marriage. So if I were to date men, which I don't, but if I were to date men, I would date a man with characteristics like my father.
And it's crazy that you say that, because that's what I was going to tell you earlier. And you and I kind of touched on it, and I'm glad you brought it up as we get ready to kind of close out, is that simply we, again, got to stop thinking relationships are one size fit all, cookie cutter, because it's not. We got to stop thinking that men like a certain type of woman because they don't, and that women like a certain type of man because they don't. We all like something different, right? But we like based on what we're accustomed to, based on what we know. Like she just mentioned.
Something that a person that we're familiar with, right?
Right, because as you know, I came up with my mom and my dad, so I came up with a two-parent household too. And my dad was a great provider. Although my mom did work, she wasn't a stay-at-home woman, but my dad was a great provider. And he also did things around the house. He knew how to, he didn't shy away from cooking. He didn't shy away from cleaning. He didn't shy away from being hands-on with the kids and taking us to football and basketball games and cheerleader practice and things like that, and filling in the gaps when my mom was at work. So the guy that I look for, it is a big turn on for me for men that do those things. If you got your kids in your home with you, and you're hands-on with your kids, and you're taking care of your kids, and you cook, and it's not a gender role for you, that's an attraction to me.
And women will come in, a woman will come up in there and make their home a house, because they see you trying, but that's the thing, these niggas ain't doing it.
That's right. And for guys that are, because the guy that, potentially, that I'm trying to take,
okay,
he does all of those things, right? He has his kids, he's a good provider, he's a hard worker, he takes care of his kids, he's hands-on, and that's huge for me, because again, I've seen my dad and the way that he took care of us in our house, and it's a plus, like I said, my parents, it wasn't perfect, but by the same token, because our relationship has their issues, but it was solid, until my dad.
Yeah, I like a solid relationship. I like solid loyalty. That loyalty is over everything. Like literally, loyalty is over everything. I mean, really, like.
And I'm not going to date you. I'm not going to date you and be involved with everybody else until you get it right.
Right.
I'd rather let you go on about your business. I don't care if you got all these great qualities. If I've given you the blueprint to my needs, and I'm willing to cater to your needs, but you're not trying to fulfill mine, I don't care how many good qualities you got. I'll let you go on about your business, because there is a man out there that has these same qualities and characteristics that's willing to give me the time and attention that I need.
He might not put that shit on.
He might not put that shit on.
You can put it on what Fantasia did.
Right, you know, like Fantasia did, right.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
And definitely ain't nothing wrong with that. I just think what women have this, they feel like they got time to waste in order to build a guy. I'm out of building guys. I'm not gonna build you. I'm not doing a Build-A-Bear. I need you to not be perfect. You won't be perfect, but I need you on your way, like the video said. And men, I don't blame you if you choose a woman that's on her way. I have a son, And I'm gonna always teach my son to choose a woman that's on her way.
Right.
She ain't got to be perfect, but I don't want you dating Rakisha. And I'm sorry. Y'all may, ding me for that, but I'm sorry. I don't. I want my son to date a girl with potential.
Potential.
I want.
Hold on, wait a minute, because that potential thing.
Well, what? Then when I say potential, now see, I'm young. Right. I'm saying when I say potential, meaning she's going to college.
That's the
so when she's going to college, she's preparing for her future. That's her potential. You're going to college, you're preparing yourself for your future. When we talk about us, y'all grown as all get out. Right? Y'all grown as all get out. You ain't figured out your life at 35, 38 yet. Something is wrong. And I want guys to know it's okay to have values, to have boundaries, to know what you want. Because I teach, and like you said, teach your kids at an early age.
Right.
Because I teach both of mine, my daughter and my son, at an early age, and we have unapologetic, real conversations in the house. I want parents to stop sugarcoating stuff.
Right, please.
Right?
Please do. Because guess what these kids are doing behind your back? They are doing what grown people do. Mm-hmm. So why not be the parent that be honest?
Yeah, we don't have some real
and let your
conversations.
kids know that, hey, this is what it is, All right, so,
I want you to wrap it up. I want you to scrap it up.
Baby, guess what? You have a baby,
right.
she's going to keep that baby from you if you're not with her. Mm-hmm. That's how these I was a young girl, so that, hey, listen, so that's what you do. You let them know the real. You let them know the real.
And I even teach my son this, to a point from a young age. And I think men grow up, like Melo was saying, because they haven't seen it. You gotta date her. You gotta let that girl know that if you like her, show her. If you don't, then tell her.
Now, I've been seeing on Instagram, I don't know if it's a facade, that a lot of these young men be dating these women. These young men doing better than these older men. Right. They out here really.
And what I said, the perception that social media giving y'all. That might be just one time with one person, but now you holding every man to that standard.
Well, every young man?
Young man, too.
I would tell you this.
Not every.
And this ain't even on social media, but it goes back to what you were saying about what they see and the way that they were raised. A lot of the young boys that my son hang around with, them young boys got their shit together. And that's because we as parents, we've been out there and we ensured that our sons and our daughters know what to expect and don't accept any run of the mill guy. And we're teaching our boys, if you're gonna date these girls, date them with respect. Be truthful. If you're looking for, and my son will tell you quick, when he wasn't in a relationship, that he wasn't looking for a relationship. Right. If you're not, say that. Y'all be grown ass men with that bullshit.
Listen. Also, too, the younger guys, they have mothers like y'all now. And the thing is, y'all are showing them a different. Older moms was submissive, housewives, cook and clean, and wash everything and all of that. But now y'all are showing them like we are mothers, but we get up, we go to work, we demand respect, we hold value. So that's why these young men, and I do see a shift in the way men are with the younger guys. They probably are, talk to them with the romance, but that's because they were taught by people that explained to them and were more transparent with them.
Yes.
Back in the day, it was always, hey, this grown folk being, these children stay over there, grown people stay over here.
Right.
But now those real conversations are happening even with sex and things like that.
Right.
Like the teen pregnancy had went down.
Right.
I mean, except in the little small towns, but
that's right, because they don't know, they ain't got nothing else to do but just lay up
and do drugs. That's it.
Right. I mean,
but like teen pregnancy is going down. These millennial kids, they don't want no children.
Right.
They don't want no
My
kids.
son to tell you quick. He said, I ain't never had no child. And I'm telling him all the time. Hey, well then if you didn't have no children, I'm hoping you scrapping up. I tell people the story about one time. I can recall him dropping his little protection on the steps. He was leaving out, going out the door, and he probably gonna kill me for telling his business, but that's okay. And he dropped this little stuff on the steps, and I called him. I said, hey, check your wallet. He told me, man, what you talking about? Check your wallet. He checked it out. He started laughing. Hey, because you dropped, you don't even know you dropped it on the step. Hey, I need you to do a U-turn. Because, hey, come on back here, because I don't know where you're going. You see what I'm saying? But so we have unapologetically real conversations in our house. And like Melo said, that when we were coming up, our parents shied away from having these type of real dialogue conversations with us, meaning females and men. Dads men didn't have it with their boys, so y'all don't even know how to treat a woman.
Right. So listen, I was just about to get ready to say that before we close it out. But these men who try to date us, they have childhood issues. They have childhood. They have childhood issues. Women have them too.
We do too.
And that's the reason why we try to get a familiar spirit, because that's what we're familiar with. But if we can get past that in our generation, not the new generation,
we need a shift change in our generation. We need
how?
But here's what it's gonna have to be. As women, we gotta stop allowing the BS. We gotta stop allowing, again, the videos that we were start showing. We gotta stop allowing men not to date us. We gotta stop allowing men not to value us. We gotta stop allowing men to move in a space with thinking it's okay for us to do all of these things, and you're not even dating me with the intentions of being exclusive. We gotta stop giving titles to men that are not even spending time with us.
Because as soon as we don't do something they don't like, they go to the next woman, and that next woman think that they the one, they the glitter and the gold. When guess what he's gonna do? He's gonna move on. As soon as you do something that he don't like, you're gonna go to the next woman. And see, that's why a lot of women are single.
Let me tell you the one thing before we close out is this. I always say, for me, and did we have anything before we close out?
We have a comment off of IG. No potential over this way. Ain't looking for no damn potential. If it gotta be some definite in the man's specific characteristics and a list of things that work for me that he must have.
That's right.
And then someone else said, do not submit to him. Stop giving him wife benefits. Sharissa made a comment about your dad and he didn't shy away from singing.
Right. And that's that romance part. I need somebody that's affectionate, that's romantic. Because my dad would sing to my mom all the time. Like he's gonna put on some Teddy Pendergrass or some Isley Brothers, and he's gonna sing in that house. And so I look for a guy. He ain't got to sing to me, but I need for you to show some kind of affection. Some kind of romance. I'm a flower girl. I'm a rose flower girl. You ain't got to buy me no Birkin.
Right.
You ain't got to buy me no Fendi.
I
got no bags,
but
I like flowers.
Right.
And that's simple.
Flowers.
And to like we were just saying to sum it up, like I was just saying, if you got time to be on Facebook, this is simple, but this is my motto. If you got time to be on Facebook, but you ain't got time to even send me a good morning text. Help me understand if I'm really the right girl for you. Because if you can get up and you can go on Facebook, but you haven't even said good morning to me,
then you're not interested in me. Then you're not.
That ain't true. That ain't true.
Help me. Speak to another before we go.
I done did that a couple of times. That ain't true.
Okay. Okay, well, let me ask you this. I don't expect you to roll out of bed and text member. I don't. But I do expect that if you start your day and it's hitting noontime, and I've heard nothing from you, am I truly hurt?
No, I get it. I get that part. I get that part.
Yeah, am I?
I get that part, but when you said, Shay said, "Child preach."
Right. I mean, I just feel like if I ain't really truly who you want to date, people make time for who they want to be with, and it's not hard. It's a simple good morning, good afternoon, good night. hey, I'm gonna jump on FaceTime with you right quick. A lot of the things that women are looking for is very simplistic. It is not hard, and we're gonna go ahead and close out. It's not hard. Most women, if not all women, are looking for a man that know how to communicate. That's the first thing. To be open and honest with what you want. In order for you to tap in, date them, to get to know them, so that you can tap in to who they are and cater to their needs. And in turn, you can share how she can match up to you, to what you want and what you need, but you gotta be transparent because nobody has time for a guessing game. And then you gotta be willing to pivot and shift because nobody is perfect. And this is men and women. To adjust for the person that you want in your life. So, guys, I want to thank you guys for taking the time out to tune in with the Mellow Toss and Teresa Duhart. I will tell you guys this has been an amazing conversation. But guys and girls and women, definitely, without a doubt, this is not a one-size-fits-all type thing when it comes to dating and relationships. But I will say, date in your lane. And with that being said, have an amazing night, guys. I'm your girl, Amanda Miller with 105.7 Phase. We will see you guys next week, Tuesday. Don't forget to download our app, our mobile app, and go to our website so that you can see all of our personalities for 105.7 Phase, and you're able to follow those guys with their podcast, the events and shows that they have up and coming, and to see and where we are out in the community. Send me any topics that you want to discuss. Have an amazing week.